Hey, it's me, Hrishikesh Kannan, popularly known as Hrishi K. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business and current affairs.
When we met, which was in 2014, now we've been together more than 7 years, it was in the first date that we had, in fact, we discussed marriage. The first date was dinner. And both of us said that, oh, marriage, no way, we don't want to get married. Marriage is the furthest thing from any of our plans. And that was the same. We both went along with that same idea for almost 3 years. And then suddenly it was like, oh, actually it was the family, her family. It was like, what are you doing? You need to. So then she said, what do you think? And then we kind of said, okay, it's been 5 years already. Okay, so let's get married. But I think it's been wonderful. It's really, really been wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heartthrob of the nation for decades now, Milind Soman. How are you? I hope most importantly, Ankita, yourself, your mom, the family, everybody's safe and healthy, Milind.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We've been in fact traveling since I think since August. And since August it's like almost non-stop. And my mother, of course, refuses to wear a mask. And I've told her that, you know, if you get arrested, don't call me to get you out of the police station. So she carries a mask in her pocket, and every time she sees somebody, you know, coming, she kind of wears it. So yeah, everybody's fine. They're all.
I love Auntie. She's amazing.
Can't complain. I know people have been through a really bad time all over the world. I mean, more than in India, but we can't complain for sure. For sure.
Well, we have a mutual friend. His name is Ranveer Shaurya. And he has a tremendous grudge against you. He says that all through the shooting of Metro Park 2...
5 billion people.
Yeah. But his particular grudge is, during the entire filming of Metro Park 2, he got no attention, no female attention at all, because you were in the show. And the moment you'd walk in, all the ladies were interested was in you. And, you know, dressing up for you, have a spring in their step because of you. How do you feel offending your old friend? Apparently you know each other from Mouthful of Sky. You have to talk to me about that. Offending your old friend like that.
Well, Mouthful of Sky, wow, Mouthful of Sky. That's 25 years ago, 1995, 26 years ago now. And actually, I never met him during Mouthful of Sky because he was, I think he was in the post-production department. He wasn't acting. He was part of the company, I think, producing Mouthful of Sky. That's how old I am, before Ranveer Shaurya even started acting. But yeah, we did a film together a few years ago, more than 10 years ago, I think, called Bheja Fry, which was very, very funny. And he was really funny in it, hilarious. And so I know him, so I don't take his grudges very seriously.
In fact, Purbi added insult to injury, saying that even Ankita, your wife, got more attention than he got over the 2 seasons of Metro.
The thing is that I really don't know how much attention he wants. No, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. I mean, I saw... Yes. In fact, recently I saw season 1 because my wife was watching it. Ankita was watching it, and she said, "You have to see it. It's so funny," because she was shocked. We don't watch Indian shows because I mean, Indian shows are getting better and better, but the American shows, because for so many years, you know, we're watching shows that are 8 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. Yeah. And they're so incredibly well written and well performed that we haven't got around to watching Indian shows yet. But she said, you know, it's really, you have to see it. And then I saw all the episodes from season 1 just last week. And I sent a message to Ranveer saying, you are so funny, because it's true. You know, it's amazing. And the reason I did this Metro Park season 2, in fact, was because I saw the first episode, I think, of season 1. It was hilarious. I just realized that it was so well written and so well performed. You know, there was just it's that sweet spot, you know, where The writing, the performances, the direction, everything, the casting, everything just comes together so beautifully. And I think it's everybody's seen that. I mean, I was just like, wow, this is so good. And normally I wouldn't do this role, you know, because I'm always asked to do this role of the other man. You know, like you've heard of the role of the other woman, and then, you know, it's so common, the role of the other woman. But I'm always asked to play the role of the other man. I mean, it's really crazy. Even in a film I did a few years ago called Chef, where Steph was the lead actor. And there again, I was playing the other man. So in fact, even as a Malayali wearing a lungi, which normally is supposed to be a funny stereotype, there also I'm playing the role of the other man. And I'm like, what is this? So I actually refuse a lot of roles like this that come to me, that is about this suave, sophisticated, good-looking, you know, all of those things. And I said, no. I don't want to do that anymore. Just give me something more interesting now. And I just refuse. And this time, just because, again, it was so well written, so nice, not just for my role. I said, I want to be part of this series because it's so funny, you know.
Yeah, you know, and on a serious note, really, it's so wonderful to see the love and respect that your colleagues have for you. You know, everybody just says, Milind, good man. So that's the underlying thing. Such a surprise? You mean to say you couldn't fool them? Or you fooled them too? No, I'm just joking. But this guy is a dentist, isn't he? And is he Purbi's character's childhood friend? Is that what the character is?
Yes. So in fact, I was also surprised when I saw the season 1. I mean, it's so detailed. In one of the episodes, Kannan's character, Kannan is the character. Omi's character, Kannan, is having a baby. And they're trying to choose the name of the baby. And they have this fishbowl with chits in it. And Payal picks out a name. And the name is Arpit. And they say, oh, yeah, we're going to call the baby Arpit. And she says, no, you can't. And they're like, what happened? She said, you know, Arpit was the name of this guy. And he left me for another woman. And they say, but listen, Arpit, we know this character Arpit, and you were in the second standard, right? Third standard or something in school. She said, yeah, but he was my first love. So that, that was in the first season. And then Arpit comes into the scene in the second season. It was quite amazing. So yeah, that was the whole thing. So I'm playing the other man. So Kalpesh says, oh, this is your ex-boyfriend when she was 7 years old. So it was like, yeah. Quite funny.
And you know, everybody talks about, sometimes unfairly so, about how difficult comedy is, and you got to get the timing right and things like that. Do you face any such dilemma, comedy versus drama and things like that, or you know, are you Milind Soman, the actor, irrespective of what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, an actor is an actor irrespective of what you're doing, right? You have to follow the script, you have to follow the direction, you have to understand the character, and you have to do all of that. Like, I don't think that I'm a great comedic actor at all. Forget great, not even good. But if you follow the direction, you follow the script, I mean, the other actors are so good. You just, you go with the flow and you get it. I mean, that's what it is. I have done Bheja Fry, as we just said before, which was a really funny film. Everybody thought I was really funny in it. I didn't think I was funny in it, but everybody thought I was funny in it. So it works. You know, you may think that you're not good at something, but if you just go with the flow and surrender to it, you know, you will end up doing a good job.
Yeah, and you know, it is easier for men like you because you can just stand in a frame and engulf it.
I knew it.
You don't have to do anything. You can just be in a frame.
Everything in the world is easier for men like me. Not that I've seen a lot of men like me, but yeah, men like me.
But listen, the year seems to have ended on a beautiful note. I mean, your lovely wife and you running in the hills. You were in Meghalaya. You want to tell us about that run, please?
So we've been doing this run for about 7 years now. I think this was the 7th. Every year, this is our New Year run. It's called the Last Long Run, 30th and 31st of December. We run about 120, 130 kilometers. And because, it's not normal. I agree. It's weird. It's like sick. But yeah, that's what we do. And it just started like in 2013 or 14. People were talking about the Last Long Run. Normally the last long run for runners is like 20 kilometers, 30, 40 kilometers. We said, oh, really? That's long. And we did like a 160-kilometer run from Bombay to Pune. And that was another friend of mine. So 2 of us. And then we had so much fun that we said we have to do this every year. So every year we have a different destination. And there are about 10 or 12 runners. And we just get together for these couple of days and we have a blast. And that's how it is. Last year we were in Japan. The year before that we were in Sri Lanka. The year before that I think it was in Dharamsala or somewhere. And it's a lot of fun if you're a runner. Not if you're not.
Let's talk about some of the other cast members. We talked about Ranveer.
I know you got very bored with that answer. No? It was all about running hundreds of kilometers. Stop.
No, man. Anything you say about your exciting life, I'll lap it up because it's just, great content. But you're looking at a cast which includes, look at the kind of lineage that Purvi has, her cousins, Sharman, Manasi, her mom, the great Sarita Ji, her own sister. Acting is just in the genes, isn't it? So just hanging with Purvi on set.
Totally. Well, I didn't know, firstly. I met her for the first time. I didn't know she was related to any other actor when I met her. Even when I worked with her, I found out at the rap party. So we had
You're really living under a rock.
Yeah. Every time one of the actors finished, they would have a small rap party for that actor. And I think a couple of actors finished at that time. And there was this rap party. And suddenly I was talking to Purvi and she was saying that, oh, my sister. And then she spoke about her mother. And I'm like, what? Your sister? Who's your sister? And I said, who's your mother? And then she said, and she didn't tell me Sharman Joshi is related to her. Anyway, now you're telling me, so I know. I'm saying, oh, that's your mother? Oh, that's just, oh, my. And then it was like, wow.
And Mansi, which is Rohit Roy's wife, is her cousin. That's another relationship.
You could get a t-shirt with all these people's names written on it. It's crazy. No, she was lovely. She was absolutely lovely to work with. So, yeah.
And did you have you have scenes with Omi? You have scenes with Omi, with Gopal?
I only had scenes with Purvi and with Ranveer. I think I have only 3 scenes or 3 or 4 something, 2 scenes. I don't know. I've forgotten now. But it's just fantastic. There's this guy called Bittu who is Ranveer with this. Oh, he is so funny.
He was in a Raj and DK film called Shore in the City. Pitto Bhash is his name. He's just fantastic. You're right. Yeah.
Fantastic. But that's the thing. The casting is just so good. Every character and they're just so well cast. They're such good actors, and it was really amazing. I'm really looking forward to watching it myself. Normally, I do not watch anything I work in. Anything. But I think I'm going to watch this because, of course, my wife's going to watch it. So I think I'm going to watch it as well. And I'm really looking forward to it.
You mean to say you didn't see that Ekta show in which you're playing Boris? You haven't watched it as yet?
I have not yet. I've seen the trailer. I love
What is it? It's called Kaupurush. What is it called?
It's called Porushpur.
Porushpur. Yeah, because the trailer is pretty gripping, man. It's just...
Yeah. So something nice that they did was each character had their own trailer. So I loved my character trailer. It was very, very nice. And I haven't seen it, no. And I haven't seen most of the stuff I've done. 90% of it. And
consciously or just you don't have the time?
I don't watch a lot of stuff anyway. So, I would rather watch things that I've not been associated with because that's fresh and exciting and surprising than watch stuff that I've already done. Unless somebody tells me you have to watch it, the whole thing is amazing. I like Metro Park because my role actually is tiny. But I'd really like to see the whole thing because it's a great project.
How's the autobiography or the memoir doing? Needless to say, you shot yourself in the foot by getting Broacha to anchor your inauguration. I don't think he let you speak. I keep telling Kunal Vijayakar this. I don't know why you do comedy with this chap because you don't get a word in.
That was the idea for me. I've known Cyrus since he was 7 years old, right? So it wasn't like a surprise for me. And even when he was 7 years old, I had this huge crush on his sister, Giselle. And every time I would try to, talk to Giselle, this guy would be there like a little minion, talking nonsense. And even at that time, he said, Cyrus, shut up and get away from here. And we were like, okay. So I said, let's do this launch. I won't have to say anything. Let's get Cyrus Broacha. And he'll do all the talking. And I'll just nod my head and people will laugh. And it'll be perfect. you know. No, but it did well. I was quite surprised because when Penguin came to me the first time and said, we want to write this, we want you to do a story about your life. And I said, well, what? There's nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I have forgotten everything in any case. It can't be that exciting. Because to me, a story it's always a hero story. You've been through something in life, you've struggled, you've overcome, and you've triumphed. But I don't have anything like that. I've just got everything. I'm so privileged, and guys like me kind of thing. And I'm like, but they say, no, you have to do it. So we found this fabulous writer. I mean, I found this fabulous writer on Facebook, in fact, Rupa Pai, and she collaborated and we wrote this book. It turned out really well. My family loved it, which is important because they're in it. And it won most popular book award at the Bangalore Lit Fest a month ago. So I was happy. People read it. They liked it. Good.
That is cool. And you've been brutally honest about all the controversies. For example, Madhu and the Python, your relationships, your career. You've been brutally honest, or you've kept it?
I didn't talk about any relationships except for the ones that people actually knew about. So there's Madhu, there is Milind, my first wife, and of course Ankita. So just the three of them. I didn't mention anybody else deliberately. I didn't want it to be that kind of a angle to the story. It had.
And fair enough. It's just the respect to give the other person.
Also, I didn't want to even get into the fact that I might say something that would offend somebody, because of course it's always your memory, and what you kind of saw it as, the situation or the relationship, and I didn't want to get into that. And also, I wanted the story to be about the journey and arriving at this point, because this is why people actually find me relevant today. It's about fitness, it's about health, it's about being in your 50s and still being able to live your life the way you want and without any restrictions whatsoever. I think that is what people really want to know about. And that's the kind of journey that I wanted them to see. And that's why I chose to have, my first full marathon as the backdrop for the film, which I did in 2009. So yeah, I think it turned out quite well. Rupa was amazing. Rupa Pai, fantastic writer.
How do you tackle pain and go beyond it? I mean, my constant excuse is that I have an L5S1 sciatic nerve pain. Doctors, surgeons say get operated. I don't want to get operated. I don't want anybody to touch my spine, but I can't push the envelope as far as exercise is concerned. So I'm a prime example of somebody asking you, saying, how do I get beyond my pain, my mental blocks, everything?
What I know of you, if you're telling me that you have this kind of a pain, which is a sciatic pain, I think sitting is not doing you any good at all. Because the sciatic nerve, in fact, it passes very close to the piriformis, which is a muscle deep inside your glute. Sometimes it passes even through the piriformis. So if the piriformis is not relaxed, you are going to feel this pain very severely. And if the piriformis goes into spasms, even if they're very small spasms, it's going to really hurt you. And the sciatic nerves goes all the way down, right from your lower back, right down till your toes. And I know I've felt this pain on occasion because I run, so sometimes your glutes, of course, are the driving muscles for running. And sometimes they do get stiff, and it can impact the sciatic nerve. It's a very common, syndrome for runners, especially barefoot runners. And I'm a barefoot runner. So you need to get off your ass and you need to do some physiotherapy. You need to do physiotherapy. It's only physiotherapy that can get your body to adapt to what you're going through. And once your body adapts, I don't think there's anything that can stop you from doing what you want.
That's a very valuable advice.
Your body adapt. Yeah.
I want to come back to Metro Park 2. You see, NRIs, you can play them in various ways. Yeah. I mean, there is a Sindhi NRI, there's a Gujarati NRI that Kalpesh Patel is. How have you played this guy? Have you just kept it very normal, or have you kept it like any immigrant who, is half and half, bits of India, bits of America?
Well, they haven't actually said. I'm assuming, because if Purvi, I don't know whether Purvi was born in the US, or whether Payal was born in the US. I didn't get that. Because otherwise, if I was in school with her and she has come from India when she was a child, then I was obviously in India. And right now, the character that I play is like a Doctors Beyond Borders. I'm constantly traveling all the time from country to country. I don't have a place where I stay. So I'm more like a person that just goes everywhere. I don't even have a particular accent. I don't have a particular kind of attitude to culture or anything like that. And so we just tried to just play it like this is Arpit, you know. He travels all over the world. He's a doctor. That's it.
How's the Pinkathon doing? And was there a spanner in the works because of the pandemic? Though running to me is very COVID safe because runners can run alone, keep distance.
Yes. In fact, so I run. I don't wear a mask or anything. Now runners have really started running a lot on the roads. I see them all the time. But when you do events, of course, it requires people to gather in large numbers in the holding area before they run. So events was an issue for the authorities to give permission to, because gatherings were not allowed, traveling was not allowed. So the Pinkathons in different cities didn't happen. But what did happen was when we did Pinkathon Day last year, which was the third edition of Pinkathon Day, we started it in 2018, where locations from across the world, in fact, 10 countries this year, they participate on their own wherever they are. And that has become a big thing during pandemic. But we started this in 2018. And we had almost 20,000 participants in Pinkathon Day on the 1st of November, which is in the peak of the pandemic. We had almost 20,000 across 250 locations in 10 countries. So that was quite heartening. And now we are actually creating a format that works during this period with all the regulations and restrictions and all of that. So let's see how that goes this year.
Super stuff. Beautiful myriad ways in which your lovely wife Ankita has improved you or changed you.
Well, don't I look better now than I looked 3 years ago?
Better than ever before. Ever before, brother.
No, I feel better. No, it's wonderful. When we met, which was in 2014, now we've been together more than 7 years. It was in the first date that we had, in fact, we discussed marriage. Okay? First date was dinner. And both of us said that, oh, marriage, no way. We don't want to get married. Marriage is the furthest thing from any of our plans. And that was the same. We both went along with that same idea for almost 3 years. And then suddenly it was like, actually it was the family, her family. It was like, what are you doing? You need to. So then she said, what do you think? And then we kind of said, okay, it's been 5 years already. Okay, so let's get married. But I think it's been wonderful. It's really, really been wonderful.
Yeah, it's great to see a couple in love, and the two of you are such a wonderful example of that. My last question is, what is Milind Soman's note to himself for year 2021? Are you the kind who writes a diary or tells himself stuff?
No, I don't write a diary or tell myself stuff. I just go with whatever the day brings, and I do whatever I have to do from day to day, moment to moment. That is really the way I live. It is moment to moment. I just do what I have to do at that time, and that's it. So this year, if I have to think that what would I like to do, is explore a lot more, see new places, meet new people, do new things, have new ideas, put those ideas out there. And that's what happens, and that's what's been happening all my life. So, just keep living the way I have. I love it.
Lovely. Milind, conversations with you are always enriching, man, and lots of fun. Much love to you. Stay safe and healthy. Much love to you and the family. Thanks for doing this. Bye-bye.
So watch the show and give us your response.
Yes, Metro Park too. Totally.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.